All right, so unless you're under a rock, you know that Apple just came out with a huge line of new, all different types of computers with the M1 chip, this lightning fast M1 chip, new Apple Silicon. So what did it do to the Intel-based systems like I have here, mid-2020 Intel-based MacBook Pro, or any of the Mac Minis? What did it do to the Intel pricing? Did that like just drop like a rock since it's way slower? Let's find out. All right, so what this video is going to be about is, you guys know I do a ton of videos on Mac stuff, and a lot of times I don't have any of the new M1 chip systems yet, but what I do have is I have a lot of newer Intel-based systems. This is a 13-inch, mid-2020, 13-inch base model. This has got the Intel i5 in it. We got some older systems behind us, 2017 with the iMac. We got Mac Minis, things like that. So what I want to do in this video is I want to go through these systems and just take a look really quickly. These things held their resale value. Apple always seems to hold its resale value crazy good. I've had multiple videos on this. You can sell them for sometimes, 3, 4, 5 years later for 60% of the cost, 70% of the cost on these systems. So when these new M1 chips came out, that just blow these things away as far as benchmarks. What happened to the price on these? Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's see, how much do these cost right now? If I want to sell this right now, what's it going to cost? Did I just get, hurt really bad by this new M1 chip coming out? Or are these still pretty valuable in people's eyes? Maybe people don't even realize that the new M1s came out. A lot of people probably don't, I guess. But what happened to the price in the used market? That's what we're going to find out right now. Did it really affect that? Let's get into it. All right, so let's see what this market has done. So let's just first look at the new one. So here's the new MacBook 13-inch MacBook Pro. You can look at it right here. This has got the M1 chip in it. If you look, it's $12.99. So they're about the same cost as they were before. $12.99, you can buy a brand new one right from Apple. So let's go into the used market for the version that I have that's going to be Intel based, which obviously is a lot slower. So let's just skip ahead here. So what we're looking at right here is going to be a mid-2020 Apple MacBook Pro 13.3 inch. This is the base model, mind you, 8 gigs, 256 gigs of space. It's $1150. The cost difference is, what are you saving there? $150 right now, and this is used, open box. So you can see that it hasn't really done much to at least the MacBook Pro. Let's go ahead and take a look at another one. This one obviously is just the base model, and these were only $12.99 new, and there's this way faster chip coming out, and now look at this, $1150. If we actually go even further, look how crazy this one is. Now this is the i5. Actually, this is the base model again. Let me see here. It says new, so it's going to be brand new. This one's brand new. They're selling it for more right now, $13.19, almost $13.20, and you can get a brand new one for $12.99 with the M1 chip. Look at this, 256 gig SSD, only an i5, and this is the MacBook Pro mid-2020. Is this crazy or what? So if you look at this, does this make any sense to you? Does it really make any sense? Why is this such a crazy used market? It makes no sense to me. Let's look at the, here's the Mac Mini now. If you look at this, this is going to be the new one that just came out, the M1 chip. See down here, 8 cores, 8-core GPU, 256 gigabytes of storage. Let's scroll down, $699 now. They're selling it. This is probably the best priced M1 chip system you can buy, or even any type of Apple product right now. $699, crazy. So let's go ahead and take a look at the used market. Let's go ahead and look at a 2018, because those are basically going to be, in this range. Or those are the ones that are typically, comparable. The last models that came out were really 2018s. Look at this one. So here we go. Apple Mac Mini 2018. This has got an i3 only, not the M1, the i3, only 128 gigs, so half the storage, 8 gigs, same amount of RAM. This is a grade A. It's used though, $660. So here we go, $660, $699. Why would you buy that? This is where I don't understand it. Even worse, let's go to this one. Here's again, Apple, this is a mid-2020. It's got the i5, 256 gigs of storage. It's got a little bit more storage and SSD, but it's basically equal. And this is a conditioned use. See it there? $699. Same cost as a brand new M1 one. Crazy. So what has it done to the Mac Minis on the used market? Nothing. You can sell these again. You could have them for a year or two and sell them for the exact same cost you bought them for. It's crazy. We even go to this one. This is even crazier. This has got a little bit more storage instead of the M1 chip, but let's look at it. It's new Apple Mac Mini 2018, 2020, whatever. That's the older version of it. 6-core Intel. Now this has 512, so you get a little extra storage there, but 809, so you're paying $109 more. And this one's new though, but still, it's, geez, I mean, we're talking, it's a crazy time. I mean, this used market is just totally crazy. And finally, maybe the MacBook Air could, maybe that's better value. So let's look at the new one. Here's the new one. Again, it's the M1 that just came out, 8-core. This has got a 7-core GPU, 256 gig storage, $999. So they're a little, that's a fair price, but it's the brand new ones with the M1 chip. Let's go look at the used market. $849 for a new one. This is going to be an i3 only versus the M1, 8 gigs of RAM, so the same there, and it's 256 gigs, this particular model. I looked it up. But it's only, what does that come out to? That's about $150 difference. So, but I have seen some. This is one of the best prices I could find. So you're talking anywhere from $150 to like $50 less for 2018, 2019, 2020. It just depends on where you're looking, but I mean, there's almost no change in the price. It's just always somewhere around that, as long as they're, obviously if they're new, but still, you would think that the price would have dropped 50% at this point. So it makes no sense to me. Long story short, just wanted to show people the Apple used market. You're definitely not buying these things. You're just leasing them. It's just a crazy market. All right, so what do you think? Pretty amazing, pretty eye-opening. I mean, to think that you can get this system, online, and the price barely dropped even $100 in some cases. The new ones are selling for the same exact cost as the M1s. I mean, what does that tell you? I'm not sure exactly how to read that. I mean, number one, it just tells you how strong the used market is for Apple products right now. Number two, maybe a lot of people just don't even realize what the M1 chip is and they just don't care. That could be maybe a second thing. But I really just think that people, just even if they can save $100, $200, they just are willing to buy Apple products online. So, I mean, I was pretty shocked. I mean, if you look at the MacBook Pro, you look at the Mac Mini, I mean, I just don't know who would buy them right now, but people are buying them and the price is still pretty high. So it just goes to show you, like, the market, and when you buy these things, you're not buying so much the computer for, $1,200. You're kind of leasing it or renting it for maybe $300 or $400. Just wanted to check it right now. I mean, this is one of the biggest changes that's happened, and it's still holding true. There's still strong market for the Intel-based systems. I never would have guessed it, but that's what it is. So we got to live with it. If you like it or hate Apple, it's one thing you do is you kind of just lease them for a few years and you can sell them for a lot of money. Anyways, you guys watch my videos. Hopefully you do, but I make a couple a week. And if you could subscribe and click the like button, it's going to definitely help me out. Beyond that, just give me some topics if you guys want me to make stuff on. Always looking for just different type of topics. I make a little bit different off the beaten trail, videos. I don't like to compete with the big names where they get all the equipment, the first day and stuff. I can't do that. So help me out, subscribe. Let me know of some topics. Peace.